Alright, people, we back again. Yo, 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 what is up? And welcome back to another episode of the APF podcast, episode 70. It is I, the most phenomenal man, has shocked the system once again, aka the coach.
And it's your boy going forward. And today we're gonna have a
We
special
just got some. We just
podcast
got.
all
We don't.
about the.
We don't really got nothing planned. We don't really got nothing planned. It's just, and you know what time it is. It's the second installment of the playoffs round one prediction. As you know, we did it last year.
Yes, we did.
So this is the second installment of the round one playoffs edition. And now, before we get to this, I have some little side talk. Hold on. I got some little side topics going on, right? So first off, you know, AMC is opening up August 20th,
Yeah,
and for some reason they're opening up. I don't know why, and their movie tickets are going for like 15 cents.
yeah. I read it. I didn't read about, but I did see a video on my subscription box. Basically, saying that AMC is putting out their tickets for 15 cents. Unfortunately, I don't have like with me to read these things. But if you want to go, if you're able to go to a movie theater and you're able to take the proper precautions and be able to socially distance in the movie theater because it's always going to be fully packed. I mean, it's 15 cents to go see a movie. They're trying to recoup some of their business, and there's a reason why they put up 15 cents. They're literally trying to get anybody in there. They're trying to
That's
basically get you in there.
yeah, that's legit the only reason why it's 15 cents. I mean, I'm sitting here like, this is why I question America sometimes because we're in a time that we're not even in. We don't even have like anything to go on as far as what are you doing?
You
What's
mean?
going on?
What happened?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah, what? Something. It sounds like you was blowing or doing some type of exercise.
Oh, no, I was just doing something else. I was so you're talking about the AMC stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I question America sometimes about their decision making, and they're now deciding to open up a movie theater, but we don't. But which they said they originally closed because of this, and now they're opening back up, and they're desperate need for people. Me, I question. I don't think they should have opened it up. I think they should have. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I don't think they should just open it up and are in desperate need because
What? I
nobody.
mean,
I don't-
oh, sorry. Um, they're business and they have to try and do what they can. I mean, this is why they signed a deal with Universal to allow them to put their new movies on VOD earlier because they need some money and they need it and they know that they can't be so stingy about getting people back in theaters. Now, is it worth 15 cents of your life to go watch a movie? I don't know. The people go watch these movies are just bored. They're bored being home, so go there. Um, but it does depend on where you live, if how many people can be in a movie theater, um, and all that. Because we all know movie theaters usually are these really tight, packed places, so they'll probably only allow you to have about 20-25% of people in those movie theaters. You're gonna have to socially distance, which is why they make that percentage probably what it is. It's not worth it for me. I never go to movie theaters. Number one, way too annoying for people. I've never ever wanted to understand a movie theater experience unless I'm super rich. I can have my own place where I can stay in the movie theater. Then I'll go. Unless that, I'm not going to stay in no regular place around all these people. You never know what people are doing. It's dark and everything. It's weird. That's why I never like movie theaters. But if you want to go there and enjoy a movie, I'm not going to hate on you. Just understand that you have to be vigilant, smart, and protect yourself because you can get COVID pretty easily if you're not careful.
Oh yeah, yeah, you can shit. And who? we don't even know how many of we don't even know there are what you call it, how many people they're going to let in, how many and how many theaters in there are going to be available for them.
Yeah, that's true. Different cities and towns have different measures that they have to deal with, and they're gonna have to work within those parameters. If this is just a theater wide thing for all their theaters, you can just walk in for 15 cents. But I just believe that you know watching movies at your house to me is the best thing ever. I've never wanted to go to a movie theater, so and I don't want to go to now. So you know, good luck to all those people when they pay that money.
So let's see. Man, look, Devin Booker, dog. Devin Booker. He went his team went 8-0, still missed the playoffs. You can't be mad at that team because they did everything right. They did everything right, and it was all up to Memphis and or Portland to do everything wrong, and they did everything right.
Yeah,
So
okay.
what can you do? What can you do when you're Phoenix? You do everything right. You win 8 straight games to end the season, and Memphis and Portland also wins. So you can't really get mad or you can't really say nothing about Phoenix because they did everything right. And what can they do now? All they gotta do is just go home now. After winning eight
Look,
straight games and getting no reward for it, now you gotta go home
mhm.
and wait it out for the next season.
Yeah, I think for Phoenix, even though they are not going to make it, it's still a great showing by them to go 8-0 in the bubble against the Clippers, against the Mavericks, obviously, and the other teams they've played throughout. It's a learning experience for that team, and even though they don't make it, they still get something from this. They still get a good feeling about themselves. And I think it does help Devin Booker that he finally got to see some consistent success for his team in this city, right? Because he's only seen failure and 25 wins and 60 plus losses. That's all this man sees every year. And so I was very impressed with 8-0. Cameron Payne went from being Russell Westbrook's dance partner to looking like he can be a decent piece for them in the future. So I'm happy for him as well. DeAndre Ayton played well. Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson played pretty well. So I think it was good for that team. I really do.
So let's talk about the play-in situation. So I have it right here that to advance to the playoffs, Portland must win one game, and must win 2 games. So it's a double elimination for Portland and a single elimination for Memphis. So and it's coming on tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. So from this series, what do you go? I mean, I'm guessing you're going for Portland. I'm guessing you're going for
Yeah.
Portland,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going for Portland too. I mean, I said it before that I thought Memphis was going to do something. I really thought they was, but then as I seen the games going on, that wasn't the case. They totally let me down. I gave them belief. I didn't think Portland. I mean, Portland had a chance, but I didn't think they had like such a big of a chance because of I just didn't think they. I just didn't think they had it. I think they had it, but I didn't think they had it. Had it. I thought Memphis because they did so well during the season. I thought that they was gonna keep that momentum going and win at least 4 or 5, at least win 4 games. Turns out that didn't happen. So now, since they switched positions and the momentum is shifted in the Dame's corner, I believe that Dame's not going to let this. He's not going to go. He's not going to let Memphis win one game. One game. He's going to take this game tomorrow, and they're going to go to the playoffs and face Los Angeles. I think they're going to pull out the win. I don't think they're going to let this slide. They can't.
Yeah, look, I think Portland's going to win this game because Memphis is not going to be able to stop Damian Lillard from scoring, in my opinion. You gotta look at it like this: that first game they had Jared Jackson Jr. They don't have him this game. I know that Portland knows they're gonna. I think they're gonna play better defense against them this time. Daimler is on fire. That first game he did not shoot well, so his teammates were able to help carry them to the win. First of all, secondly, I don't think Dylan Brooks is going to be able to score 30 points. And third, Jalen Val is not going to go for a triple double. They played a Milwaukee team that had nothing to play for, so they're able to fill up the stat sheet and get an easy win. But Valanciunas is not going to get a triple double or score 25 points on Yusuf Nurkic. That's not happening. And I'm telling you, Dylan Brooks is not ready for prime time. It's all about Ja Morant. Can Ja Morant match Dame? He can't. Dame Lillard can shoot the ball from three, from 40 feet. Man shot a logo shot like it was a normal setup shot and made with nothing but net. And plus, if they're going to double team like Brooklyn did, it's going to hurt them as well because I do think Portland is going to have some sets and plays ready for when they double team Dame up top if they want to start off. That's what they should have because you just saw what happened with Brooklyn. Let's not forget about what Golden State did to beat Portland last year. Double team, blitz Dame on pick and rolls, and they couldn't do anything. Luckily for Dame, they made enough shots yesterday to keep them in the game with the blitzing. So I'm picking Portland tomorrow to win this game. I don't think Memphis has a chance to sniff this win. I believe it's Dame time. He's going to score another 45 points, another 13 assists, because he's going to get the assists the 2K away, which is the double team is on max, and you get double team, and you get open shots for three. That's what happened. Gary Trent Jr. made the three to get them up by two off what? A double team like it was James Harden 2K19, okay? Whenever you got hot in that game, they double team you the moment you pass half court. That's what Brooklyn did last night, and it killed them. So if Memphis wants to do that, they're playing with fire, and I'm telling you, they're gonna get burned.
I think he's going to drop 40. I'm calling it right now. He's dropping 40. He's not letting this
Well,
team win. Fuck no.
he's gonna drop 40. We know that. It's just that how are they gonna start out the game, right? Like every Brooklyn did not do any double teaming until well into the third or fourth or so. They're like, okay, let's try and let the
Oh, you cut out. Bruh, I can't even hear this name. Bruh.
huh, huh.
Bruh, I swear, I can't. That whole time you talk, I mean, I heard you through the other room, but I couldn't hear you from where I'm at.
Oh, can you hear me now or not?
Yeah. So,
Okay. All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Yeah. It's going to depend on how they drop the free drops of 40 points. I just don't know if it's going to be as easy, or it's going to end up like the Brooklyn game where the 42 points he dropped were pretty difficult kind of. But he does going to need help from CJ. Remember, CJ had 25 points that game as well, and the dagger shot
bro,
to keep
CJ
them up.
been nobody even saying nothing about CJ, bro. Nobody even saying nothing about him.
Yeah, nobody does, but he's the one who made that shot. He's the one that forced Karis LeVert into a bad fadeaway shot that he has not made all game long. So, it's just it's just gonna be hard. I don't think Dylan Brooks is gonna stop CJ McCollum. I'm sorry, I just don't think so. So I think Memphis is gonna lose by six or more points. They're gonna go home, be disappointed with themselves that they went 2-7 or whatever in the bubble, and they failed themselves. They had a 3.5 game lead. All they had to do was win like five games. They would have never lost it pretty much. They faltered, and now they're paying the price.
So you watched that old Portland and Brooklyn game,
Yes.
and you said that was like one of the most stressful games you watched all season.
That's probably the most stressful game I've watched all season because I want Dame to win. This is like essentially this is a do or die game to get the advantage and the 8 seed. And Karis LeVert was like killing their entire team all night long because they had no right to defend him. He had Gary Trent Jr. multiple times who had 5 fouls, so you couldn't do anything to stop him. And he just got in the lane at will. And so, I'm just watching like Portland missing some shots, making shots, not getting off defensive rebounding. Brooklyn getting multiple chances. It was just uber stressful. This is as stressful as the game as the game, like Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals and the Game 6 where Steph had that one shot to get to seventh game. This is right up there with the most stressful games I've watched in 2 or 3 years.
And this final score was like 134,
It's like a
131.
134, 133, because obviously Karis LeVert missed that 18-footer.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I seen that last shot. I was like, damn, that man took a mean step back.
He got the ball back with about 19 seconds, and then he just dribbled it down to basically like 6 and then did his move. CJ forced him to you saw, if you watch it, you saw CJ try to rip the ball with his right hand, basically making him have to. He can't just drive in, because if he tries to drive you in, he'll strip the ball and he'll lose it. So he had to do a little fake, another fake, and then a step back. And that, if you look from behind him, that shot was off the entire way. I don't think he wanted to take that shot, and it proved, because he didn't make any shot during that fourth quarter that was mid range. It was all 8 to 10 feet.
So what kind of is like, I don't understand is why Milwaukee played Memphis and they didn't try hard or something. They didn't try at all. They just let it fly.
They didn't play their starters, and that's what I was telling you about. Is Phoenix didn't get Dallas team because number one, Porzingis was legitimately hurt, and they only played look at the first half, and the game was already over by then. Memphis got to play a Giannis less Bucks, regardless if he got suspended or not. Remember, that's a story, kind of.
Yeah, he kind of set himself up for that one.
Well, he got mad that he took a charge. That makes no sense. Memphis got an easy game. Let's also not forget the Spurs just broke their 22-year streak of making the playoffs just yesterday as well.
The good thing about that is that Tim Duncan ain't responsible for that.
No, he's not. No, he's not. All those guys, Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, all always made the playoffs. Not there's probably not that many players who always made playoffs every year they played in this league, especially for that as long as they did. They asked Popovich about it, and he said he didn't really care. He just cared that his players played good during the bubble, and they did play good in the bubble. I do think in this bubble, everybody got what they wanted. Portland got the playoff play-in. Memphis got the playoff play-in regardless if they suck or not. Phoenix became a better team, and I think they'll challenge for the 8 seed. Just depends on who can they knock out. San Antonio is going to be good next year, and Brooklyn is going to be, I think, a sneaky tough matchup for the Toronto Raptors. If Karis LeVert is able to do what he does, because he's the guy on that team who's always going to have the ball.
I can see Karis LeVert being like that star up and coming on the Nets, the way he played this season.
Yeah. My issue now is, he has the 37 points in that big time game. He's been pretty good all bubble long. Depending on whatever happens, if they go 6 games, how's it gonna happen with Karis LeVert, KD, and Kyrie Irving? Because remember, this is the same situation happened to Kyrie in Boston. They were really good with him. He gets hurt. You have Tatum, Brown. You have especially Rozier. They're all do great in the playoffs. I'm not saying the Brooklyn Nets are going to beat Toronto, beat some other team, make the finals or whatever. But let's just say they somehow beat the Raptors and Karis LeVert's the guy. You think Karis LeVert is going to really take a backseat to like at least Kyrie Irving? I don't know. We have to be careful about that. And especially these other guys, the Joe Harris, the Tyler Johnson. A couple of those guys are not going to be on that team next year, and they played really well yesterday and throughout the bubble. So I think the Brooklyn Nets are going to be in for an interesting offseason if things go the way I think they go, and they're competitive against Toronto.
I didn't even know Tyler Johnson was on the Nets. I was like, I
Yeah,
seen Tyler. I was like, Tyler Johnson's on the Nets. When the hell did this happen?
yeah, they picked him up during during the break or the second off season. Remember he was a $50 million player. Remember that when Brooklyn actually went and said we'll pay 4 years for $50 million for him, and the Miami Heat matched it. So funny enough, he went to Brooklyn. Either way, so that's going to be interesting. But you are correct. If Christopher is able to take that third best player spot, Brooklyn is going to be a menace for the East. I really do believe that Milwaukee Bucks are the weak, or well, maybe not this year, but going forward are in real trouble of not being the best team in the East no more. Because I don't believe Giannis can lead me to a championship without being able to be able to shoot well
Nah,
enough.
nah. Because we look at it like this, right? Take 2K for example. You see everybody's lineup, right? Everybody in that damn lineup can shoot threes. Giannis, even including Giannis's cards, most of them can shoot threes. So he still needs to perfect that 3-point shot to be any kind of threat. And once he gets that kind of threat going, people are going to play tight, and then people are going to play to play to his game even better, meaning that he could have a better chance at getting around you and scoring at the paint, or or if you sleep on him, he might pull out some type of crossover, step back, and then shoot and then drop a three on you. Which if he gets that down, say goodbye. It's a wrap, man. You got a 6'10" dude who got a shot, who can step back like that. No, man. If I
Well,
seen
we're
that,
not.
it's wraps.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about basically Kevin Durant. Like, we're not talking about he needs to be Kevin Durant. When we keep saying, we think he can't lead him to a championship, it's just that there are, in the playoffs, especially past Orlando, there are going to be the Miamis, the Torontos, who have enough size, who are going to, especially Toronto. What did Toronto do to him last year? They said, you're not getting this paint. And what happened? He was not good. Offensive
They put
fouls,
that brick wall
turnovers.
on them, and look what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. He couldn't get inside. What does that tell me? He's still not good enough. Okay, every big guy, Kevin Durant can lead a team. You know why? Because Kevin Durant can't be stopped. He can go inside. He can shoot outside.
And he can
Giannis has
pass.
no pull up. Yeah, Giannis has no pull up J. It is just spin move and dunk. Okay, and I'm not disrespecting him, or I'm not saying he's not the best player in the league, because he's been the best player of the league the last 2 years during the regular season, and that's why he's going to win MVP again and Defensive Player of the Year. But I don't care what that is. The MVP in the DPOY is not going to make the finals, or not going to win a championship until he learns how to shoot. Until it's 2 minutes left, 2 minutes, and going forward in the game in the fourth quarter, and he can't be stopped because you have to either play him up and let him drive, or play him back and let him shoot the three. And he's still, at least he's showing me he's trying, which is why I always give him a benefit of doubt. I just like Ben Simmons, I give him no benefit of doubt. He doesn't care about shooting the three. He doesn't care about helping his team, in my opinion. He just seems like a guy who doesn't want to shoot jump shots because he knows he's bricking them. And he doesn't want to go through that hard time of not being able to shoot. Like Blake Griffin, he learned how to shoot. He said it was ugly, but Blake Griffin's a 38% 3-point shooter, and but he's on Detroit, so nobody talks about him anymore. But that's what I'm talking about with Giannis, to turn our back. In this playoffs, I'm really looking forward to see him against teams that are not the Orlando Magic. Okay, I'm sorry, they're not. They're not going to challenge him. All right, they're not.
No,
They're just not.
hell no.
He's gonna
That's
go
not even
crazy.
a question.
Yeah. So, do you think we should get these playoff matchups one by one and talk about them?
Yeah, which one, East or West?
Let's just get through the worst one, which is the East first, because they're the worst one.
Oh shit! I get okay. Well, it's the East for the. Let's see.
First
It's
round.
Milwaukee versus Orlando. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah, Milwaukee versus Orlando.
yeah. I think Milwaukee should win in 4 or 5. Um, if you're ever interested in this series, you're gonna have to wake up pretty early to watch it. These games are going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So clearly, the NBA does not want you to watch, or they don't care about this series because they're just throwing it at a time where nobody's going to watch it. Um, but I'm going to watch a series because I'm an NBA guy and all that,
And we
and I'm
and,
looking.
and we and we got to talk about these things. So
Yes,
and it's
you
also
know,
basketball, so it's something that
it's,
we've been deprived of for so long. So
yeah,
I don't care where it is, I'll watch it.
yeah. And look, we're just going to look at Giannis and Chris Middleton. I'm hoping for at least one close game to see how these guys are going to perform when this crunch time is close. Remember, Orlando did take a game off of Toronto last year, surprisingly enough. So they are capable of doing that because essentially they have the same team as last year. We'll see if Aaron Gordon will play in this playoff as well because he's been out with an injury. But I'm just looking for how Giannis and Chris Middleton are going to play in the close. They should be able to breeze through the series. And Giannis is going to average his 30 and 13 and 5 assists, and Chris Middleton is probably going to get about 23 to 25 points per game, and they'll win every game by about 10, about 3 of the games by like 10 plus points, and maybe one by a single digit. But
Don't say that shit. They might choke like Portland did last year.
well, yeah, but Portland was like a historic anomaly. Like to lose 3 of the 4 games by after you're up by like 17 or more made no sense at all. Like it just didn't. But there's and number one, Orlando is not good enough to even do that. That was the goat. That was the goat Warriors doing that. That's a different level. But there's no way Orlando is going to come back from those 17 points out against Milwaukee. If they
They don't even got the firepower to do that shit.
You're telling me Evan Fournier is going to lead them back? DJ Augustine, Markel Fultz, freaking
Shit,
and Terrence Ross comes back.
Let Aaron Gordon get a bunch of 50s, man. He can make that comeback. Shit.
He ain't gonna make no comeback. I feel bad for him though. He needs to get out. He needs to get the hell. Well, I can't say get the hell out of Orlando. They're a playoff team. So what's your pick for this?
I say Milwaukee and foe just like that. I don't think they have a chance at winning the game. I don't think they have a chance.
Well, they don't got no chance.
I'll give if game one. I'll give them. I'll maybe give them a 5 because of game one, but I don't think they got a chance to win the rest if Giannis is back.
Yeah. They have to shoot well. I hope Milwaukee shoots under their season average to even have a
They
chance
have
at
to
winning.
outshoot. They have to outshoot them to even have a chance at winning. I'll say that.
Yeah, they need a lot of help. It's clear. All right, so let's go to that second series. What's that second series
Is
on there?
Toronto Raptors versus the Brooklyn Nets.
Well, this series, I think Toronto wins in 5.
Oh
I do
no,
think.
we've seen this series before. We've seen it like what 2015 with Paul Pierce on there.
Damn, that was a long time ago. Completely
Yeah, I've
different
seen.
team.
Yeah, I remember the series when like Paul Pierce. No. I'm tripping. No, it was no that was Brooklyn and Washington. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
but but
Well, we haven't seen these teams, but we have seen essentially the same Brooklyn team minus D'Angelo Russell, who did win a game against Philadelphia and kind of kept it close in the other couple games throughout the series. So this team is capable with Levert as the guy basically now to win a game. And really, all this is can Karis Levert win a game by himself? And also, can they get LeBron of Lawu Cabarrot? Can he continue to make threes? Can Joe Harris continue to make threes? Can Tyler Johnson continue to make pull up 2-pointers, mid range shots against a far better defensive team, against a Toronto team that is first or second in 4 of the major defensive categories: opposing points, opposing field goal, opposing 3-point percentage, and like steals or something. I believe it's steals as well. This is technically a historically good defensive team. This is only second time that's happened in since the 1980 season, whichever team that was. So if this team can lock you down, we saw them against the Lakers, because I do think the Lakers took that game seriously. They kept the Lakers under 92 points. Now, that was when the Lakers could not buy a bucket from the 3-point line. And LeBron didn't play well.
He was trash that game. He couldn't shoot for
Yeah.
shit. Danny Green was useless.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. And for Toronto, this is the start of their title defense. I'm expecting Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam to basically.
Here we go with the playoffs, man. This dude over here just pissed me off all last year because this dude could not perform up. He performed up and down. He performed good and then he performed bad. I'm just like,
you talking about Fred VanVleet?
Find the consistency and go there, man. Shit.
Are you talking about Fred VanVleet?
No, I'm talking about Kyle Lowry. He was so inconsistent, man. He's just up and down.
I remember people saying that it was Fred VanVleet that was the one that was really consistent. I thought Kyle Lowry was pretty consistent, especially in the conference finals and the finals.
No, Kyle Lowry, he was inconsistent also at times.
Well, at least in the finals are pretty good. But yeah, they have no Kawhi Leonard to lead them through this time. So they
got Spicy P.
Well, okay, yeah, they have him. We'll see. I'd rather have the ball in Kyle Lowry's hands than Spicy P. I believe Kyle Lowry is the guy I want to play. Siakam, man. Pascal Siakam, I just don't trust that jump shot. Can he get in the
I guess I can agree with that one. I can agree with that one.
You know, like Jared Allen is a pretty good rim defender, because essentially all he does is go for blocks. That's why he can get fouled out so easily too. But I have a hard time trusting Pascal Siakam to lead me through. I way more trust Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet than Pascal Siakam. I know Pascal Siakam had a really good game 1 and a decent final series, but trust me, it's going to be Kyle Lowry who's going to lead them through. And the guards. Pascal Siakam may be the best player per se, but he's not the best guy I want with the ball every time down when the game's online. Give me Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry has earned that respect from me for his performances in the finals. He has shown people that he is a guy you can trust down the stretch way more than Spicy P. Spicy P is just the second guy who they give the ball to. If they need.
I mean, I guess I can agree with you on that one. I can agree that I would rather have Kyle Lowry than Kyle Lowry because he got more of a shot than Siakam. I guess I can agree with that one.
Yeah, to me, when watching that finals, it was Kyle Lowry always, making a big play or getting a shot or a defensive play. He gets a lot of charges. He always gets a big charge. He makes these big threes. We saw him against. He was the one who went for 33 and 11 against the Lakers in the bubble, not Pascal Siakam. So I'm trusting Kyle Lowry to be the guy to lead this team through the playoffs. But with Brooklyn, Brooklyn's got one shot. Can Caris LeVert and the others, can they continue to make shots? There is no way Caris LeVert is going to get within 8 to 10 feet of that basket against OG Anunoby. I'm sorry, it ain't going to happen. You're not LeBron. You can't bully him. There's no way he's going to do that. And he's about to get a good taste of that Nick Nurse cheese that he did last year against Steph Curry, who still averaged about 30 points per game, even though he put that cheese on him. Boxing one and all.
What cheese did he put on him?
That boxing one nonsense, man. Basically, put
what
that
is
box
it?
in one. It's basically a defensive set where you have two guys, and all they do is shade the best player all the time. Every time down the court. That I remember that because Steph Curry said he's dealt with the boxing one in college. A in college, it was a famous game where he got boxing one throughout the entire game because the other team was like, we're not going to lose to him, and that's what Nick Nurse did. You think Nick Nurse? You think they have a better chance if they let Steph Curry go one on one with double teams happening here and there? They would have a far harder chance of being the Warriors than they did. So I'm just scared that that Karis LeVert is going to get boxed in one and double teamed if he scores enough points and the game's close. And he's going to be unable to deal with it because he has never been boxed in one or double teamed. The Portland Trailblazers, they're not double teaming him last night. You think if he's scoring 37 against the Toronto Raptors, they're going to let him just keep going one on one? No way. They're going to double team him and box him one sometimes. So he better be ready for that because that's a team that they are the ones who brought in boxing one back to the NBA. Them. So he should be careful against that team.
Because the reason why I said the boxing one I don't know if I heard about I don't think I heard about it, but I was like I was like, what is the boxing one? So that's why I
Yeah,
was like, oh
yeah. Basically, go if I was you, you just type in Steph Curry boxing one, and there will be videos of people probably explaining, the box one that the Toronto Raptors instituted, at basically about around like game 4 or 5, maybe 6, where they really were using it because essentially Klay Thompson got hurt, and so they just boxed one Steph Curry, and he tried his best and still did well, but was unable to make the shot to get to Game 7. So you know that I'm just thinking they're not going to let Karis LeVert keep going one on one and score if he's doing it to them, which I don't think he will. I think last night was strictly because Portland can't play defense. So, what about you? What's your opinion on this series?
mine is I think from now that you have no Kawhi and now that they're the defending champions without him, now we get to really see what they're really about without him versus with him. Now we did see what they was without him the playoffs before, but then that was like different. I think there was like some other people there, and so now that their team got some new people, got some now that they have like the same team as they had last year, we get to see if they could do it again. Can they do it again without Kawhi, or do they need that extra star player to help to give them that boost to make it far in the playoffs? And for Brooklyn, we wouldn't even be saying much about the series if KD and Kyrie were here. Let's just put it like that.
Look, if KD and Kyrie here fully able to play their 35, 40 minutes, we're picking Nets in 6 or 7, and nobody's thinking about it. But they're not here, so and Spencer Dinwiddie too. I forgot Dinwiddie, Jordan. Those four are not
Oh
here.
yeah,
They should.
oh, bro, I forgot. Spencer Dinwiddie cold as hell, bro. I'm sleep.
Yeah, he got.
That's a battle. That's the battle for third best on their team. Let's put it like that. Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, but Dinwiddie's a point guard, so he'll be off the bench unless they let go of Joe Harris. Then they can put them all starters depending on how they
I,
want to.
if you put all those factors there, I think Brooklyn would have it in like 5. But since they don't, then we have to go with what their team got, and I think they're gonna do it. I think it's gonna be 6 games for Toronto.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 5 or 6. A sweep is pretty hard. Now let's get to
Yeah,
the third, which I think is the most interesting series in the
which is
bubble.
the Boston Celtics versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Now we have seen this matchup before. I think this went to
Yeah.
5 games or something, 5 or 6 games
Ooh.
before.
Was this the year that Boston made the conference finals?
I think I think no, that was
Because
on 2018. That was
Okay.
2018.
I don't remember this series happening between these teams. Um,
No,
that
yeah, it
that
was the
happened.
Eastern Conference semifinals.
Okay.
So it was no Boston won 4-1. They destroyed them 4-1.
Was okay. So basically, it was these teams with Gordon
So it
Hayward.
was so the first game was the Sixers 101, Celtics 117, Sixers
Was
103,
this last
Boston
game?
108. Yeah, no, this is the from the 2018 one. So
Okay.
the games were only two games were like no actually there were only but game 2, game 3, and game 5 were like close. Games 1 and like game 4 were like uh, were almost like 10 points. Well, game 1 was like 16, the other one was like 9. So even though they did beat them in 5, they did have a challenging series though.
Okay.
So now we get to see this in the first round, and I think this might be the first series to go with 7 games. I think.
Man, it's kind of hard for me. It's going to be kind of hard for me to find out if this series is going to be somewhat competitive because it's only Joel Embiid really on that team. He has to score like 30 points and 20 rebounds. Like he has to do it to have a
Oh wait,
chance
what?
of being.
Oh wait, this is Joel Embiid.
It's just Joel Embiid, and no, there's no Ben Simmons.
The
Remember
whole
Ben Simmons?
series.
Huh?
The whole series.
You mean this coming series? Yeah.
Yeah. The whole round. It's just him by himself.
Well, yeah, there's no Ben Simmons. I mean, he has a team, but what I'm saying it's all Joel Embiid. Do you trust Shake
Okay,
Milton?
so
Do
that
you
makes a
trust?
difference. Now. That makes a difference. Okay.
Yeah. Do you trust Josh Richardson? Do you trust Al Horford and Furkan Korkmaz and Matthias Thybulle? I mean, Alec Burks, my guy from William State. Like, do you trust that kind of team to be able to beat a team like Boston? Uh, 4 times in
Oh
2 weeks. I just don't. It's just
no, no,
hard for me to
yeah,
expect.
no, I don't. Now I'm looking at the names that you named. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know
I mean,
if they. I don't
you
know if they can win
assess,
4 games.
yeah. I mean, you have to think about it. Do you believe Joel Embiid has to score 30 to 40 points per game to have for them to have a realistic chance of winning or even having a chance to win at the end, unless his teammates can step up like Richardson and Horford? I don't know if they can. And because of my feeling, I think this goes in 5. I think Jason Tatum averages 30. I think Brown averages 25. Kemba Walker averages 23. Hayward 19, 20. And they blow them out. And they win the series. And we're like, is this the end of the 76ers? We saw what happened when Joel Embiid doesn't have Ben Simmons. He can't do anything. So does that mean Joel Embiid is going to be in trouble of being traded? These are questions that some people are going to ask. Maybe not rightfully to ask, but they are going to ask. This is a big series for Joel Embiid because I don't think people think he's going to win. If he can show up and do well, that would help him a lot.
So for Boston, there's not really no holes in their game too much that I can really say. It's just more about are they gonna play? Are they actually gonna play, or are they gonna fuck around and do something else or do something they're not supposed to be doing? Because Boston has every reason to win. It has every reason not to lose.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Boston's going to win. I don't think Philadelphia has enough guys to be able to stop those 3 guys who can all score, or four. I'm sorry, 4 guys who can score. They have 4 guys who can get you 30 points. They're not going to stop that. They don't have the bodies, nor the offensive talent to stay with them. They should win this. they should win this series and going away fashion.
I'll be surprised if they win it in 5. But then again,
Ah,
that Philadelphia team is depleted, so I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised
really,
if they did win it in 5.
they're really depleted. It's really unfortunate, it really is. But man, are they dead? They're really effing dead. They really are. That's
So,
everything.
what do you think the series is going to be?
I think it's gonna be a 4-1. I think it's over in 5. I don't think Sixers are able to win 2 games. Um, I don't know if Jordan Embiid can give me that many consistent 30 to 40 point games um, that way. And also, I don't think that Boston's going to just let him do what he wants to do. They're going to double team him and force his teammates to make smart decisions and make shots. And, that's what I would do if I was them. Because if we just let that guy Joel Embiid do his thing, he's going to kill him. He's going to kill him bad. And I just don't think they're going to. So I think they're going to lose pretty good. And they just have to
I
win
think
tonight.
it's gonna be 4. It's gonna be 4-1. Yeah.
It's just hard. I mean, like who's going to score enough points? Like you'll see a little bit of it today, right? Because the Sixers are playing tonight, and we're going to see Shake Milton. We're going to see a couple of these guys who are going to now play, and I just don't. I mean, these are the same guys who couldn't beat Toronto's backups. So I have a hard time believing that this team is going to be able to beat a fully loaded Boston with Kevin Walker fully ready to play 35 minutes. Excuse me. So, yeah, 4-1. I think that's it.
So for the final round of round 1 for the East, we have a very iconic matchup with the Indiana Pacers and Miami Heat.
Oh, yeah.
Now these two teams, there's no LeBron, there's no D Wade, no CB1, no PG24, no George Hill, none of those guys no more. That's like 6 years ago. We're 6 years into the future with new lineups and new everybody. Well, except for Unas Haslam, he's the only one still there, but
Oh,
he doesn't play. He
yeah.
don't really play. So this one, you got T.J. Jordan on one team, you got Jimmy Buckets on the other team.
Wow. Well, we saw T.J. Jordan. He got snuffed by Jimmy Butler. Okay, he scored like 12 points. Like he did not do anything. T.J. Warren ain't gonna do nothing. Well, he'll try, but he ain't gonna do big shit this series. I'm sorry, he just ain't. Okay, Jimmy Buckets is come for that neck. He come for that neck. Okay, and I don't know. This series is gonna be 6. This is the most likely 7-game series if Indiana and if TJ Warren can score his average that he's been doing, which is around 31, and somebody else like Victor Oladipo can like help him. Like if you do that, I think they can make it 7. This is probably the most likely to go 7 in the East.
Yeah, I think out of the whole East, that could go 7 games. I believe that.
But I mean, I just saw this game like a week ago. Jimmy Butler, he went on Twitter and tweeted out caption saying mood and a 20-second video of him like dancing around, being like, I locked that boy up. Like he over there dancing. Now I was like, oh, he in the mood now. He's like, I'm ready for you, TJ. TJ Warren don't want that smoke. TJ Warren probably like, I want to defend him. I want him to defend me. I'm telling you right now, Jimmy Butler is only defending TJ Warren. All game long. He's gonna take TJ Warren out of the game early. And if he does that, I'm telling you,
Then then it's gonna be easy dub. It's gonna be easy dubs for them.
now this series would go 7 for sure if Domantas Sabonis was there, but he has like really bad plantar fasciitis, kind of like what TJ Warren. He has plantar fasciitis as well, and but Sabonis was so bad he had to get surgery, so he couldn't come and play. So if he was there, then it would be 7. But he's not there, so
I
it's
think
probably
so. What? So it's gonna be like 6.
yeah 6. I still think Miami's not a good offensive team. They are not. Like Jimmy Butler is the most interesting leading man in the NBA because he doesn't shoot the ball well. He goes to the free throw line a lot, and all his shots are really just inside inside, the paint, and putting his body up and going strong to the rim. Unlike in Philadelphia, where he was a way more of a mid-range, he'll shoot some threes, jump shot guy because that's what Philadelphia needed. But for Miami, he really doesn't do that. He's more of a facilitator. I'm sorry, and not a guy who shoots a lot of shots. Most likely, it's more he kind of just throws the ball around. But because of that, Indiana's always going to be in games because Miami's not going to blow them out. They just don't. But if you want to know, I think Miami is my dark horse to beat Milwaukee in a series because Giannis is going to face the most agile defender he's going to face all season long, every season of his career, and that's Bam Adebayo, who before the restart held Giannis to like 8 points, and they got blown out. Milwaukee versus Miami. So Miami is my secret team to beat Milwaukee and get to the conference finals. So I'm taking Milwaukee to win in 6 because of that. And I just don't think TJ Warren's going to keep scoring 30 points, especially now against Jimmy Butler. That ain't going to happen.
Oh no, Jimmy Butler. He's not letting him slide. But I do think I don't know. This one is hard for me to comment on. Indiana or Milwaukee or Miami, who's going to win?
I mean, it's gonna be hard because Miami's not a good offensive team. Indiana has not been a good defensive team in the bubble. For some reason, their defense has kind of faltered, but their offense has been decent. But I just believe more in Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, and Duncan Robinson than I do Victor Oladipo, unfortunately, and Miles Turner and Aaron Holiday. I'm sorry, not Aaron Holiday, Malcolm Brogdon. I don't trust those guys more than the Miami guys. I just feel like the Miami guys are gonna lead me to the promised land in this series.
Yeah, I feel like Miami's going to take it. I feel like those guys that have more of an offensive capability than the Indiana. Indiana don't really got only got many pieces to score. So I'll take Miami in like 6.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, both teams are not really that good offensively, really. I mean, Miami's offense is kind of just like they have 2 white guys who shoot basically 3-pointers off of dribble handoffs and picks and pin downs. They have one guy who kind of works inside around the paint, another guy Bam who kind of does basically the same thing, and they have Goran Dragic who's the guy who kind of does it all. Basically the Lou Williams. He can shoot the 3, he can get to the basket, he can pull up from the 2. That's kind of what you see, and that should be enough to beat a team like Indiana. But we'll see about Milwaukee, who I think they'll face in the next round.
So you say Miami at 6?
Yeah, Miami is 6. Yeah.
So I mean, right now the Lakers don't got an opponent. So
Yes, they have no
I
opponent,
mean,
so we can't say anything.
yeah. So we can't say shit, but we can go ahead and with the Clippers, Los Angeles Clippers versus Dallas Mavericks. I think this game could go to 6 for sure.
Think this is 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Clippers are gonna. As much as I like Luka and Dallas, I think the Clippers they just got it. They just got they just got more. They got more power. They got more offense. They got more. They got more They got more of that tenacity that Dallas is lacking. Dallas maybe they might have the edge in terms of the passing ability and sharing the ball, but when you have an offense like the Clippers, it's kind of hard. It's kind of pretty hard to count them out and stop them. So that's why I'm picking that the Clippers to win it in six, even though Dallas will probably take will most likely take 2 games in my own opinion.
Yes, I think the Clippers win in six. But I can see them winning in five. Look, Dallas is a really bad like defensive team. Like Luka Doncic, score. I'm sorry, no. Dame Lillard scored like 61 points against them. Like they have, if they let like Damian Lillard score 61 points against them in a game with all their stars played big minutes, you're telling me that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George together can't keep scoring that every single game they play? They can't stop anybody. Like they just cannot. They've played Clippers have played them like 3 times, maybe 4 times this season. They beat them all 3 times by an average score of about 10 plus points. What does that tell you? They're blowing them out. They're not being able to stop Kawhi and Paul George. I don't have my computer working, so I can't see their averages against Dallas this season. But I bet you it's probably a little bit higher than their season averages because
You talking about the team? You talking about the team average?
well, I was talking about the team average probably that the Clippers score is a lot higher than their season average because Dallas plays no defense. Like Luka can't play defense. The only one who can play defense is Finney Smith and Hardaway to some extent. Porzingis is a really good rim defender, but if you get him in pick and roll, he's done. Like Dame Lillard killed him. He tried to put his hip on Dame Lillard. Dame would just push him out of the way and get to the basket. He tried to come up on Dame to stop him from shooting the three. Dame would continue to blow past him. If he tries to drop back, he'll shoot the three. So he's just a liability in pick and roll defense, just as a fundamental thing. And with Luke now with Dallas, the only hope Dallas has is can they score enough points? Because they've played each other in the bubble, and Luka scored like almost nearly 40 points or so against the Clippers, which is why I think the Clippers defense is overrated as well. As much as people talk about how good their defense should be, it's just not. Stars continue to do well against them and continue to kill Paul George. So, and Kawhi doesn't want none of this business. So I think Dallas can win 2 games off offensive loan. If people don't know this, Dallas has the greatest offensive rating in NBA history. So they are historically great offense. That should be enough to win. I'm for sure one, maybe two, but Clippers going to win this series. Better defensive team, probably the two best players in the series clearly, and I think they have a better bench with what's his face, Lou Williams and Reggie Jackson. They got Jermichael Green. Almost forgot. I almost called him Draymond Green. Jermichael Green. And they should win this. I just can't see Dallas winning unless like one of these games, the Clippers just have a meltdown. But I just can't expect that from Kawhi. He was so good last year. He's going to be good again. Now Paul George, I don't know about Paul George. If I got Paul George facing,
Paul George, he's up and down. He's up and down.
Look,
I don't know about him.
Like Paul George has been good all bubble long. I'm just saying, if it's a tied game, let's have Kawhi on the best player, not Paul George, because Paul George got Dame Lillard last year. Okay, I'm Paul George is great and all, but I'm just gonna say this: I don't want him on Luka at the end of the game. Nah. Put Kawhi. It's better, I think. But yeah, I think that's gonna be a fun series to watch at least. It'll be a long.
So I think this next series is going 7. Is going 7 games for sure. It is the Denver Nuggets versus Utah Jazz. And if you've seen that last game that they have double overtime, you would know why I say that series is going 7.
Yeah.
Come on now. Me personally, I believe that game's going 7. I think both teams are evenly matched. They got good guards, good forwards, good big men. It all comes down to who plays better, who wants it more.
Yeah.
I think the Denver Nuggets won it more, in my opinion, which is why I'm going with them in 7.
Well, last year they let CJ McCollum get him out of there. Game 7 of the second round. So they're been ready for this moment all year long. Like you said, that double overtime game. It did take Donovan Mitchell making crazy 3 pointers, but he was really good. Jamal Murray, that was his first game back. He played really good, made key shots. Nikola Jokic had the craziest tied game thing ever, where he basically went just as the shot clock did not begin and finished it within 3.1 seconds or 3.4. So he's really good. They've both got really good coaches. Um, Now, Utah has a better guard, and Denver has the better big. Because Gobert is not an offensive threat; he's just a lob threat and an offensive rebound putback threat. Not a true offensive threat against anybody, no matter who it is. Um, but when I saw that I don't know how much I can get from that game because it was really weird. Just dudes scoring baskets, no nonstop. You had Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic and Michael
With
Porter
that,
Jr.
you got Jamal Murray doing a step back crazy 3, and then you got Donovan Mitchell making crazy threes and trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, he made some incredible threes that absolutely made no sense. Um, just was crazy. Now I think the X factor is Michael Porter Jr. because I picked Michael Porter Jr. over Joe Ingles and Royce O'Neal. Like Michael Porter Jr., he's going to be the starter for the rest of this season because he's played very well. I'm very happy for Michael Porter Jr. Because this was a guy who's going to be the number 1 overall draft pick if healthy. Um, and to be able to come to the bubble and do what he did throughout the season has been impressive. And I think he's the X factor. If he can continue to score 20 plus points, get rebounding, and play good defense, I think even though I think go 7, I do think it'll be enough to beat them in that game 7 because Utah hasn't played a game 7 um, with this version of the team. So I'm with you. I think go 7, and I'm picking Denver because I trust Jokic and Murray more than Gobert
because
and Mitchell.
you can't put because the thing about that set down that differentiates Denver from Utah is that not only do you got a big man that can shoot outside and inside, you got a guard that can shoot outside and inside. Utah
Yeah,
got a guard that can shoot inside and outside, and they got a big man that can shoot inside and defend. So even
yeah,
though
yeah.
defense wins games, but you gotta also have that shooting ability outside, and that's what's gonna kill Gobert because he's not comfortable on the perimeter, which will make him guard Jokic. Because if they leave him open, then that leaves the paint open. So it's like, what does he want to do? Does he want to guard the paint or does he want to guard the 3?
Yeah, look, let's not forget Jokic can run the offense as well, which is going to push Gobert out of the paint, which will open it to back cuts and down screens to cuts and all the great basketball things that can happen. And it's going to be an issue for Utah if Jokic is hot. And I do think, remember, Jokic is kind of like Joel Embiid. Some games he's on, some games he's just not. I believe he's going to be on for this series and playoff run. And so I think that's going to be one of probably the second or third best series that will happen in the bubble. And when I constitute really good series, it's series that are back and forth and go like 6, 7 games. Not series that go 4 and 5 and they blew them out.
Because
Pretty much.
because those games, those 4 and 5 series games, they're not. they're not good because they got blown out. They got easily destroyed. They couldn't do nothing. 6 and 7
Yeah,
series games are good series games that two teams are evenly matched.
yeah. I mean, now there are those 4 and 5 game series where it's close, and those are good series. But generally, 4 and 5 game series are the other team dominated you. Like that. Usually, that's what happened. You know, it was just like when Milwaukee faced Detroit last. Was it? Yeah, last. No, 2 years ago or something. I know they faced Detroit and they killed them. No, they had no shot. Okay, that was the worst series I've watched in years. Like,
Oh yeah, it was last year. It was last year
yeah, it was
they
last year.
did
Okay, yeah, yeah. Like Detroit got murdered by them. It was
Oh yeah,
really,
they lost by like at least 15 points per game.
yeah. There was something crazy. Like they killed them. So
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
it.
I got it right here. I got it right here. The first game they lost, it was 86 to 121, 99 to 120, 119 to 103, and 127 to 120 to 104. So they had no chance.
Yeah, they had no shot. So that's what I'm talking about by 4 to 5 game series that are boring, those types. But this is going to be a good series. So let's move on to this. The next series is on the docket, which has got
The
injury implications.
the last one of the West is the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Houston Rockets.
Yes. Now, the big topic is Russell Westbrook looks like he'll be out at least two of the first 2 games of the series with a quadriceps strain that he has right now. So this is exactly what I believe James Harden needs. I'll tell you why. James Harden has not had a a single game in years where he's the only guy who can do anything. Let's not forget about the San Antonio Game 6, like a year before he got Chris Paul, where he just faltered. He had like 13 turnovers, most ever in a playoff game,
Oh yeah,
and
I
they,
remember that game. I remember that game.
yeah, everybody remembers that game. Like that game started this whole James Harden is not built for the playoffs because a game coming back to your house to bring it back, go back to San Antonio, and you're unable to do anything, and your team gets blown out, and the rest is history. That's where all started, basically, of the whole just Harden is not good. Now with no Russell Westbrook, it's Harden's time. And I don't I'm intrigued in how he's going to play it. The step backs. Is he going to get the same foul calls? Remember, in the playoffs, you're not going to get ticky tack fouls. You're not going to get those easy fouls. They're going to let a little bit more go on. And James Harden doesn't seem to be well with more contact allowed. As we saw in the Warriors series, he did not get a lot of foul calls because they just generally didn't want to give it to him, I think, because they're like, this is the playoffs. We're not going to be the reason why you win. We're going to let you guys decide it. And I don't think he was ready for that. And they kind of unraveled him. Coming into this year, I do think he'll be a lot more ready for that. He'll try and really fight through the contact to hopefully get more fouls, and he's got to be on point with 3-point shooting. But again, we both know the big thing: can they overcome the rebounding disadvantage they will have? They will be out rebounded by like 20 every game. Like,
And Steven Adams will be responsible for like 15 of those.
yeah, like did not be surprised when Stephen Adams averages like 18 rebounds per game this series because PJ Tucker has no shot. Okay, okay. I'm telling you right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to like the first 3 or 4 minutes. They are going to go to Stephen Adams a decent amount and punish PJ Tucker and force Houston to help. That is what's going to happen because Chris Paul, as much as I think he's a guy who's kind of douchebaggery on the court. I think he's actually a nice guy.
No,
He's a smart.
Chris Paul, he's a nice guy, but he's just a dude. He's just a dick on the court.
Yeah, which is fine. He's a smart guy. He knows they have that big advantage, and they're going to use it. Okay. Now Houston has played pretty good help defense, pretty good individual defense. They've had a great job of stealing the ball in the bubble. That's why they've been able to stay in some of these games against Milwaukee, against they played Dallas, and whoever else they played in the bubble. Apart from the Lakers, because the Lakers had nobody there really to go after them. But can Houston keep up the defensive intensity, the movement of the hands in this series? That's going to be key to them being able to win this series. I'm still picking the Rockets in 7 to win. I just believe James Harden's going to be able to rectify a little bit of the stench of he can't do it in the playoffs that he has over him, and Russell is going to come back later in the series anyways. So I think Westbrook is going to be ready to eliminate the Thunder, and especially Chris Paul, because Chris Paul is basically a one-for-one thing with him with the trade. So, yeah, that's my pick. Rockets in 7. How about you?
Oh man, where do I begin? Uh, my mind is telling me pick OKC in 7, but then
Mm-hmm.
my other half of my mind is telling me pick Rockets. And well, am I sneezing? Am I gonna sneeze or not? Okay, so my other mind is telling me Rockets, and I'm trying to think if I pick the Thunder, or are they going to take advantage of what they got early, or should I pick the Rockets and they struggle for the first game, they lose like one game, and they and they get Westbrook, and then they win the rest of the series. I think I'm gonna have to pick the Rockets in 7. I think I think the Rockets can hold their own without Westbrook and take it to OKC and still pull out the dub. I think they can do it.
Well, the truth is, we think the Rockets, when they shoot 60 plus threes, can they make 20 to 25 of those threes to stay in the game long enough so that Harden can kind of work his magic in the fourth. Um, I think they can. They've been able to do it uh, all bubble long pretty much. Austin Rivers is going to be a big key. Eric Gordon is going to be the X factor because I don't know how well he's been shooting since he came back. He's playing tonight as well, so I may have to look at that a little bit because he was playing around 25 minutes. Um, Robert Covington, can Daniel House do his thing? Who else? Who else? Can Jeff Green play well? Because they're running by
Can
a
Austin
decent.
Rivers?
No Austin Rivers. So I think so, but I will say this: OKC's got the better 6 men off the bench, which is Dennis
Yeah,
Schroeder.
yeah.
Um, you know,
I mean, he is in the running for 6 man of the year.
yeah, but he won't win it. That award is basically awarded only to Clippers players because they have 2 of the 3 best. So he won't win it this year because he's not. His team wasn't as good. Like they'll give it to Lou Williams again for the 4th time. It's the only award that seemingly gets it right every year because he's won it like 3 times or so. He's gonna win it again. The only MVP doesn't always be given to the right person, in my opinion. Defensive Player of the Year is basically skewed to centers. Let's just be honest. Defensive Player of the Year should be going to guards and forwards because they play the best players every night, like the Paul Georges and the Kawhi Leonards. The only reason why Rudy Gobert continues to win it is because Rudy Gobert continues to get like 2.5 blocks per game. Everybody's like, he's just Stifle Tower. So, just a little rant about that. Anyways, I feel on the awards. But yeah, we're in agreement. I think we're rocking the 7. They make enough threes. Just
Yeah.
keep it close to Harden, brings it home with Westbrook. And like,
And so I guess that's it. But
yeah,
next week, I think the awards. We're gonna talk about the awards next week.
yes, yeah, we'll talk about the awards, the MVP, the DPOY, the six man, most improved player, rookie of the year, the six man, and that's pretty much it. Because all the other awards are just whatever, like community award and all that, or sportsmanship,
And yeah,
whatever.
nobody cares about the community award. Nobody talks about that too much.
Nah, yeah, we'll talk about the sportsmanship shit. So yeah, the awards and maybe other topics in the world. But I think we're done for today. So, fun
So
podcast.
with with that being said, this has been another episode of the APF podcast, episode 70. It is the most phenomenal man that has shocked the system, aka the coach, signing out.
And that's your boy going for. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Remember to, like, comment if you can on the video because it'll help us with the YouTube algorithm. And enjoy your weekend and stay safe and wear a mask. Thank you.
And don't forget check out the links in the description and share this video. And we out this thing. Ah.